Let me ask you, because it is so prevalent. And if someone's listening right now saying, well, how do I start to identify if the issue truly is the synthetic dye or something else? What does that look like when you started that elimination diet, knowing that it's in so much, it could be hidden? Like, how do you get to that point of truly knowing that in the elimination diet you did?
We suggest a 30-day elimination diet. So that luckily with 30 days, that gives you enough time to kind of learn about reading labels. And luckily, food that is manufactured in the United States, the FDA requires it to be listed on the label, and it has to be listed under the FD&C, the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic, like the either FD&C like Red 40 or Red 40 or Red 40 Lake or whatever. So in America, that has to be on the label like that. Like so, there's been some confusion here lately about like our companies changing the names of dyes and they're changing them to be secret. And like technically, that's not legal. Like in the United States, if it's manufactured, it has to be labeled using that system, the color and the number. So they're pretty easy to identify if it's manufactured in the United States. Where you might run into some issues is if there are things on the shelves from another country. So like Europe uses the E system, E127, or I can't remember. I don't know the number per, like it's identical, but it's out there and you can look it up. And then like Canada is typically using like the chemical name, like instead of yellow 5, they're using tartrazine or Allura red. So it is good to know that stuff. So if you are getting something that's maybe manufactured somewhere else and you're looking for the red 40 and you don't see it, if you see those other names, it is good to identify that stuff. So, but luckily if you're in the United States, for the most part, it's going to be pretty easy to identify. And like I said, it's a color and a number. And so we also say 30 days because even in the beginning, when we decided to eliminate dyes, we had areas that we didn't think about, like marshmallows. A lot of times you assume if it visually doesn't look like it has dyes, it doesn't have dyes, and it probably doesn't. And then as you do more and you start reading every single label that your child's eating, you find those little hidden areas. So within 30 days, you can typically recognize whether your child has a behavior shift or not from removing the dyes. And we've heard a lot of stories where people didn't see that big of a shift eliminating the dyes, but they did 2 weeks or 30 days detoxing their kid, and then they reintroduced the dyes and saw a huge, like a huge mood swing or something like that. So you've kind of detoxed your kids off of it, and then you can kind of
Now you can
recognize.
identify pinpoint the impact. But we've spent the past 2 years educating and helping our audience learn how to do just this. And so you can go to todieforthedocumentary.com/resources. And we have a blog there that helps you walk through how to eliminate it from your pantry, how to look for things that have dermal, where you may have a dermal exposure. We also have a list of synthetic dyes, why you should avoid them, unexpected products that contain synthetic dyes, and then some synthetic dye-free brands, as well as like holiday swaps for like dye-free candy canes or dye-free, like just the fun stuff so that your children don't feel necessarily left out during those times. And so that would be a really great place for families to start, would be to use those resources.
Yeah, it's always starts with awareness, right? You need to know what the problem may be to then address it.